We are getting super fiery on the It Takes Grit podcast because, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you want to hear what you want to hear, go chat with your mum. But if you want to hear the truth and you want to hear the things that are going to actually get you results, you want to speak to me. So today we are talking about a mindset makeover. Do you feel like you need a little bit of a mindset makeover? You need to transform some of those thoughts for success. You need to transform some of the things that you are thinking, the ways that you are doing things, and so that we can transform them today to helping you get success. So we're going to do a mindset makeover. If you are open-minded, if you are ready, even though I can't see you, I can feel you, just put your hand up and be like, yes, I'm ready for a mini mindset makeover. And when we go through this episode, what is really key is that you allow yourself to be open. You allow yourself to go, you know what? What if just for the next 20 minutes, I believe everything Rebecca says? Because that's the only way you're going to have a makeover with your mindset. If you start to question, if you start to doubt, if you start to get in your head, guess what? You're not going to have that makeover that you want today. So let's just all take a deep breath in. Let's just let go of any negative feelings, negative thoughts, and self-doubt, and just kind of let that all go, right? Because that's not going to serve us today. And we're going to start off talking about techniques to shift you from a fixed to growth mindset. Now, I love this because I was just having a conversation with my videographer that I've worked with for over 2 years, probably coming up to 3 years actually. And we were just talking because I said, I remember when I first met you and we started working together that you actually weren't full-time being a videographer. He was like, no, actually, I had a full-time job and I had been doing videography on the side for 6 years. And we were talking, he said, I want you guys to understand, it wasn't 6 years on and off. It was 6 years consistently. So for 6 years, my videographer had been having a full-time job and he had been doing his passion and the thing that he wanted to do long-term, part-time on the side. Not for 1 week. He didn't take 6 months off one time. He worked consistently over and over. And, after 6 years of doing that part-time, he was able to go full-time. And now he is a full-time entrepreneur doing videos. He is editing and he travels all over the world making incredible content. And we get to work with each other pretty much like every week. Every Thursday is our day, unless I've lost my voice or, I'm out of the country or he's out of the country, right? We're pretty much together every Thursday. And so we love having these conversations about entrepreneurship and how to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And the fixed mindset is, you know what? Yeah, I really want to have the entrepreneur life. I really want to be able to have freedom and flexibility. And that fixed mindset to believe that you're just going to get it as soon as you sign a piece of paper is ludicrous. For 6 years, he spent time doing his full-time job and on the side time getting clients, getting a database of people, doing jobs. Some jobs I'm sure that he loved and some jobs he was like, bro, he didn't really love this job, but at least I'm getting experience like behind the camera. Probably people that he did want to work with, a few people where he probably was like, I don't really want to work with this person, but I need to keep building up my clientele and I keep needing to do this, even though it's not my favorite right now. He had a long-term goal. He knew that he had the growth mindset. And so when that time came, when he had all of the clients and he was able to go full time, he just started to really go to work. And we were having a conversation because a lot of times when you get a business, you feel like you need to sign a piece of paper, like an LLC, right? And he was like, I didn't even have an LLC. I was so focused on work. And the fixed mindset is, okay, well, I'm just going to quit my job and all of a sudden I'm going to sign an LLC and all of these people are going to rush to me and I'm going to have a great life and I'm going to be an entrepreneur and I don't really need to work that much. And, I'm going to get to pick my hours. I'm going to get to freedom. The growth mindset is not even being worried about having an LLC. Yes, you need to do that for business and you need to pay your taxes, right? But when you first get started, the first step is not having an LLC. It's getting a customer. It's growing your business. It's growing your database. It's bringing more people in whichever area that you want to do. And then realizing that when you switch to becoming an entrepreneur from an employee, you are not working 9 till 5 anymore. It is not a 9 till 5 job. You're thinking, well, Rebecca, of course, yeah, it's an entrepreneur. You get to kind of do what you want. It's awesome. No, it's like 7 till 10, especially in the first couple of years. Now, eventually, once you have created a business, like I'm so grateful now, I've been running my business since 2013, and I have the flexibility. I have the choice if I want to work. I have the choice if I want to, take a day off, or I have the choice. I got that choice by taking away all choices at the beginning. So my first 3 years when I got started, if there was a wedding or if there was a birthday party or if there was something that I wanted to go to, but it conflicted with something that was going to help me build my business, I said no. And I think that's the delusion and the transition that you want to get to, because you got to start thinking like an entrepreneur. And at the beginning, entrepreneur is going to be different to the 10-year mark, to the 20-year mark. Things are going to evolve and they're going to change. But if you're brand new and you want to be an entrepreneur, the growth mindset is, hey, I'm going to keep doing my full-time job. Number one, right? This is your number one technique. I'm going to keep doing my full-time job. I'm going to do my part-time job on the side, which I want to be able to do full-time. And I'm going to do that for as long as I need to consistently until I get my income higher than what my current job pays. Once you've got your income for the dream job that you want, that side hustle that you've been building to that income, and you've been doing it for like 6 months, great, then you can stop your full-time job. That's number one, right? You got to build it up. Now, it took my videographer, James, 6 years to do. Some people, it takes 10 years to do. Some people do it in a shorter amount of time. It doesn't matter as long as you're staying consistent. And remember, that wasn't 6 years going on and off, on and off. So once we made that decision, you're like, great, I am going to work my part-time business because that's what I want to do full-time, to the point where then you have enough income, it matches and it's more than what you were previously being paid, and you've done that for a couple of months, great. Then you can let that go, your full-time job. This is where most people make the mistake. Once you have made that shift, the next 3 years are the most important. 99.9% of businesses go out of business within 2 years. That's just a fact. So in those first 2 years, and I say first 3 years, right? Because the first year, it's just so fun. It's new. You've got energy. It's awesome. The second year, a few kind of like, things come in the cracks and you're like, oh, this is kind of testing you. And the third year, it's like, okay, this is like, now I feel like it's hard because you've lost some of that excitement from the beginning. It's kind of like with a relationship, right? I always say the 3-year minimum. There's a 3-year rule. The first year when you meet somebody, it's amazing, right? Second year, the cracks kind of start to come out about who that person is. And the third year, you get to decide if you want to live with that person forever or not, right? You need those 3 years. I always say a 3-year minimum. And so it's the same thing when it happens to your business. So in those first 2-3 years, you need to make all the choices that are going to help you get the results that you want long term. So that means, yes, you're going to skip birthdays, and yes, you're going to skip weddings, and yes, you're going to skip family events, and yes, you're going to skip friend things. Short term, so that you can have that freedom and flexibility long term forever. What is 2 years? What is 2 years, my friends, of just knuckling down and saying anything else that does not help me build the life that I want for myself and my family? That's what you're going to just stop doing, okay? I remember too, when I first got started, this is exactly what I said to my family. I remember vividly. I said, I am literally locked in. There is no way that I am not doing this, and you will see me over the next 2 years, and I will be present at some family things. However, I'll be there physically, but I won't be there mentally because I'm going to be on my laptop. I'm going to be on calls. I'm going to be doing stuff. So great. I'll come to a few family vacations, but just know I'm working. And I missed events, and I missed family things, and I missed funerals, and I missed weddings, and I missed stuff for a couple of years. But guess what happened 3 years after I just knuckled down and I was consistent for 3 years? I retired my parents. So do you think that was worth it? Do you think that me making the choice for 3 years not to go to family events and just put my business first, do you think that paid off? Yes, because my parents have now been retired for 3 years. They have spent, in the last year, 4 weeks in South Africa, a month in Thailand, 6 weeks in New Zealand. They've gone to France. They're in Portugal right now. They have traveled everywhere. They've come to the USA multiple times. Now they get to live their life and I get to live it with them. Do you not think that that was important? Do you not think that that is worth it? Because I do. But every time that you get in your head and you're like, oh, well, I really need to go to this event from my business, but you know what? I can't because it's somebody's wedding or it's this. Great. You can do that. It's your life. It's your choice. But don't expect to have the things that you want long term and actually have the freedom and actually have the flexibility if you're not willing to make short term choices. I always say short term choices for long term goals. That's what's going to make the big difference. Okay. So there's some techniques to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So number one, work your part-time thing that you want to do for the rest of your life for as many years consistently that you need to until you make that income so that you can walk away from something else. Make sure you have that for a couple of months. Know that the first month, the first 3 years, you want to be saying no to everything that just conflicts with you building your business. And know that third thing, that growth mindset, know why you're doing it. And when you first get started, people aren't just going to come to you. You don't need to get the LLC. Just signing an LLC or signing your member pack, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden people just know that you've got a business. You have to go out and hustle. You have to find the clients. And then guess what? I'm sure, and I know it's true, because James and I, my videographer, have had these conversations where I'm like, oh, what did you have last weekend? Yeah, I had this photo shoot, but this person canceled. Okay, I had this video shoot, but this person canceled. And they've canceled 4 times now. Or maybe, there's times too where I got sick the other week. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you as much heads up. I don't think my voice is going to recover in time. And then there's going to be things where, he goes to shoots and then it's not what he thought it was going to be. I'm sure you're going to get clients where they don't show up. Maybe they don't even pay you. And maybe they reschedule multiple times. That's part of it in every single business. You cannot give me one business owner that's been in business for a year that hasn't had somebody cancel. That hasn't had somebody, not be 100% satisfied with your service. That's normal. That happens to every single person, right? So get that mindset from that fixed employee mindset to that growth entrepreneur mindset, because that's what's going to transform your thoughts into success. All right, okay. There's a big impact in making positive thinking. The impact of positive thinking on personal and professional life. Positive thinking is huge. How you think changes everything. And I remember someone saying to Luke and I, how are you guys you guys are just the most positive people that we've met. How are you guys staying so positive? All the stuff that you've got going on and, everything that you're facing, how do you stay so positive? And we go, well, what's the alternative? What is the alternative? Yes, things suck and things affect us, but it's not what happens to us in life. It's how we react. And so the one way that we could think of things is every day going, oh my gosh, this is so challenging. And how are we going to get through this? And I don't understand why this is happening. And this is so unjust. And why are people doing this? And I don't understand this. And oh my gosh, this is so unfair. And we could think about all those things. We don't. We go, wow, we're definitely being tested. We're definitely going to get a new level of emotional muscle. We know that everything is going to turn out just the way it's meant to turn out. Everything is going to unravel. And we just need to keep doing the right thing for the right reason. And when we make decisions every day that give us positivity and we work in gratitude, we go, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for all of our family. I mean, our family and friends are phenomenal, right? Our parents get on amazingly. My brother and his wife, part of the family, everybody it's amazing. Our close family is incredible. And we have a beautiful home, right? We get to travel. We create amazing businesses that impact people's lives. And that's what we focus on. We focus on all of the good. And we know that, every time in life there's going to be challenges and there's going to be things that, kind of try and take you off your plan, and they try and distract you and they just challenge you. But what's the alternative? Do you want to stay feeling sad and miserable? Or do you want to change your mindset and be positive and be excited and be grateful and have gratitude and think of all the things that you do have? Because when you start to make those shifts, it changes your personal life. It changes your professional life, because you're living in a state of happiness. And at the end of the day, what do we all want? We all want to feel like we're enough. We want to feel like we are loved. And we want to feel like we're happy. We want to be happy. Don't just feel happy, be happy. And the words that you speak becomes your reality, right? Your language becomes your experience. So if you're waking up every day and you're like, oh my gosh, this is just so tough. Like, how are we going to get through this? This is, why is this happening to me? What's that going to do for your energy? It's going to just dip your energy down. You're going to feel awful. You're going to feel like shit. But instead of being like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a really great transformation. Like, I'm so excited that, the God universe is putting me through this challenge, because I'm building another level of emotional muscle, and I'm going to be able to use my story to change the world. And that's what I believe. That's what I heartily believe. And I know that as a fact, right? Because I know the facts. And so that's what's really important, is that when you start to get in your head and you start to kind of doubt yourself, you need to understand the impact that positive thinking is going to have on your personal and your professional life. If you want to build a business, you can't be negative. You can't be negative. No one wants to work with somebody who's negative. So you don't really have any option. Let's talk a little bit about mindful practices that really enhance and focus our decision making, right? So what do I mean by that? When we make good decisions, we're in a place of high frequency, of a great peak state of excitement. And so the most important thing to really think about when you are making decisions is, number one, how is your energy? Because if your energy is low, what's going to happen is you're going to make decisions that aren't great for you. You're going to make a bad decision. You're going to make a decision that doesn't really fit well with you. You're going to make a decision that, isn't really in your best interest. But when you are in a really mindful place and you're around other people who are successful and you're around other people that are driven, you're going to make really great decisions. And it's going to actually enhance your focus, right, to making those decisions and sticking to them. A lot of times people will make a decision and then they waver, right? Unsuccessful people make decisions, slowly, and then they waver and they just fall off. Successful people make decisions really quickly and they stick to them. That's the difference. So when you're in a mindful place and you're surrounded by other people who have that same level of success that you're looking for in any industry, right? Or any result, body, relationships, career, school, whatever it is, you want to be hanging around with those people. And so how do we eliminate those limiting beliefs, right? Because great, we want to be positive. We know the impact of the positive thinking. We know that we need to be mindful when we are making decisions. We got to make decisions from a place of high energy and surrounded by positive people who know what we want. Don't be making a decision with somebody who is not able to help you get what you want. That sounds crazy, right? You want to be making decisions with people who are able to help you get what you're looking for. So eliminating self-belief, right? How do you get rid of that limiting belief? Well, the only way to do it is to stay plugged in and close to the fire, to someone that's going to continue to remind you that you are enough, that you can do it, that it is possible. And you've got to continue to do that until it's installed in you. So if you're having a down day, reach out to your mentor, reach out to somebody who's just going to put you back on track. The only way that we can not get what we want in life is by hiding, is by not replying back to somebody. I've had people give me the silent treatment. I'm just I don't really understand that, especially if somebody is trying to help you. But I think it's just I don't know. I've never given anybody the silent treatment. I don't really, that's part of the magic and the mystery. I never give anyone silent treatment. I don't on purposely just ignore people. Like, I think that's very immature. And I think it takes balls and courage to reply to someone and be like, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. I need help here. And maybe that's why people don't reply. And maybe that's why people give you the silent treatment. I don't know. But don't you do that. Don't you be the person that gives somebody silent treatment just because you just don't like what they said. Have the balls to reply back to them. Have the balls to raise your hand and ask for something, because all the time that you are not replying back to that person, limiting beliefs are going to literally just waver in your brain, and they're going to destroy your cells. They're going to destroy your thinking. They're going to destroy the way that you are able to create the success that you're looking for. And so how you eliminate those beliefs is you have to stay close to the fire. You have to keep reminding yourself. You have to keep staying plugged in, being on the workouts, being on the calls, being on the trainings, being in the group chats. All of that stuff is what is going to keep you fired up. And if you don't stay close to the fire, of course, you are going to have so many limiting beliefs. It's going to destroy your soul. It's going to destroy your goals. It's going to destroy your dreams. And we have to eliminate those by staying close to the fire. So just say to yourself, yeah, I'm ready to help myself. I'm ready to help yourself get rid of any limiting beliefs by staying close to the fire. All right, lastly, let's just talk a little bit about utilizing visualization and affirmations to enforce that success-oriented thinking. People often say when they meet me, they're like, yeah, if I'm having a bad day, I go, what would Rebecca do? And I take that as a huge compliment. And I do feel like I do make really great decisions. I'm very hardworking. I'm very disciplined. I'm very coachable. And I learned all of this from a mentor. I didn't start off like this, right? I was coached. I was trained. I was taught exactly how I needed to behave, what my habits needed to be able to be successful. And so I would literally visualize I would visualize the person that I wanted to be. I would close my eyes and I would visualize what it would feel like to get that success. What would it feel like to stand on stage here? What would it feel like? And so it's not necessarily about manifestation, because I feel like manifestation without any work just does absolutely nothing. But when you manifest or visualize, what that actually does is it makes you emotionally connected to your goals. And when you get emotional about your goals, like earlier I'm talking about my parents being retired and me giving up 3 years to just focus. I'm like, wow, like I did that and it worked and my parents are now retired. Like, that's amazing. But I visualized that and I didn't manifest it. I visualized it. I worked towards it and I got emotionally connected to what that would feel like to retire my parents. I got emotionally connected to what it would feel like to stand on stage and get a new person, the top 1%. I get emotionally connected. That is what drives me. And that's what creates the successful thinking, because I go, gosh, I want that. And now how do I need to walk? How do I need to behave? What kind of work do I need to do? What do I need to do? Who do I need to become? How can I visualize who I need to become to be successful? And so I want you to do that, right? This is the little homework that I want you to go away with today. How do you want to think? And who do you need to be to make that happen? What do you need to change? What beliefs do you need to let go of? What needs to move around? What do you need to be more open-minded of? Maybe you're just not a very open-minded person. And you're like, hey, I got to be more open-minded and say yes to more things. Otherwise, I'm going to stay exactly where I am. And yeah, I got to work a little bit harder and I got to visualize my success a little bit more if I'm really serious about getting the results that I'm looking for. Because at the end of the day, you have the potential. Everybody has potential. What is your trajectory? Trajectory is what are you doing right now? Because that is what is going to happen to you in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time. I know right now what my actual life is going to be like in 5 years' time because I know the work that I'm doing. I can tell you what my life is going to be like because of the work I'm doing. However, if you're not doing the work, yes, you have potential, but until you put in that work and you transform those thoughts for success by having that mini mindset makeover that we spoke about today, that's when you're going to start to get those results that you're looking for. So a little bit of homework from today is, how do you want to think? And what do you need to change today to be that person that thinks that way? Maybe you need to be more open-minded. Maybe you need to be more coachable. Maybe you need to be more hungry. What is the thing that you get to change today? Because when you change the way you think, you're going to get different results. Amazing job, everybody, for showing up today. I'm so excited for everything that we are creating. If you want to learn more about working one-on-one with me, you're like, wow, Rebecca, that was a podcast episode. I don't know how I feel working one-on-one with you. That might be a little bit more intense. Yes, but it's going to help you get those results that you're looking for. Because you need a coach and you need a mentor that's going to call you out on your bullshit to help you get the results that you're looking for. So all the details are in the link below. There's a quick video that shares a little bit more about what it's like to work with me. And if you have any more questions, we can set up a call after that. But amazing job. I'm so excited for what we are creating and what is happening. And I will see you on next week's episode.